Hi, my name is Marc Buchy. I'm a French artist living in Brussels, in Belgium, for like 10 years. I applied to this open course Ways of Traveling by the Qattan Foundation, and I proposed to create a kind of travel guides about Ramallah, about the life in Ramallah through my project N2H4. N2H4 is it's an artwork, it's a large, long time based project, and it's a digital publishing house focusing on travel guides. I started this project a few years ago, when I was living in New York. I started exploring a lot the city. I had a lot of time when I was living there, and then I was going everywhere, and I was writing all my memories, and I was sending them to friends, and then friends was using them themselves a few months later or years later to explore the city. So I was really interested in this transmission of experience, of memories, and how they were kind of reenacting my own experience, and it was like influencing their own point of view of the city. And at the same time, I was also interested of a company or an enterprise being also a potential artworks. So I tried to mix the two ideas, and I created this digital publishing house where I published text of city I lived in, but I'm also inviting people to write about cities they have been living in. So I'm playing with what a travel guide is, and also with this idea of a company. I worked with a graphic designer who made a logo. I did some merchandising, and it's online. It's very neutral, so it could look like just a regular publishing house, but it's also included in my work. There is this in-between situation that I usually work with. And for this residency, I proposed to write a guide, to apply this project to Ramallah, and to write a guide about what Ramallah is, or what Ramallah could be. I mean, the idea is that there is, on the international scale, Ramallah is in a very specific position. Like, it's famous, people have ideas of it, but it's also very invisible. It's based on always the same idea from the Second Intifada also, and all this struggle and the very difficult political situation here. But it was interesting for me, it was already a kind of political gesture also to include Ramallah as a potential touristic destination, and to publish a text among other texts about Berlin or Stockholm or Paris. And so it could potentially become a destination for people. But of course, once you're here, because it was my first time in the Middle East, my first time in Palestine, you realize that's not enough. I mean, the situation is very complex, and there is a lot of struggle, of daily struggle. So the text had to be a bit more subtle in what it was explaining. It's not just about what to do, but it's also about what Ramallah is, and what is the life for people, what they face every day. And I decided to write in a conceptual way. I focused first on the topography of the city, of Ramallah being built on a series of hills. So the city is kind of difficult to go through. I mean, it's very long to go from a neighborhood to another neighborhood. It's not very fluid, and this kind of fragmentation of space became for me a kind of symbol of what Palestine was going through, where there was a kind of control through difficulty of movement also, and of control, and the space being concatenated and fragmented. So the whole guide, I present Ramallah and what to do in Ramallah, but I'm always mentioning time and space description also of it.